Recently, I have gotten a look into how fragile life really is. The past few months have just sent that message over and over and over again. And it's not really a message that anyone wants to hear in that way, especially when there are people who should still be here that aren't. And I'm not going to get into that. I already talked about that in a different video. But I do want to talk about what happens when you repeatedly get that message. So let's talk about it. If we haven't met yet, my name is Isabel, and on this channel we talk all about embracing your weird in order to build a better brand, business, and life. I think I've always known that life is short. I mean, we grow up hearing that all the time, right? Tomorrow's not promised, do what you can today, seize the day, etc., etc., etc. But although we know that on some level, and we hear this all the time, I think sometimes we don't realize how short life really is and how we keep waiting for someday to come. We keep postponing things that we want to do. We keep saying, oh, someday, I'll do this thing. If something has happened the past few months, is that I realized that I don't want to wait anymore. And so I went into like a little existential crisis. And if you want to go on this existential crisis with me, I'm going to share the questions that I asked myself that led to some interesting answers. So these are the questions I asked myself. If nothing about my life changed for the next 10 years, what would I regret not doing? What part of myself am I postponing until I feel more ready, successful, talented, secure, healed, or whatever else I'm waiting to become? What do I keep saying someday about? If I stopped making decisions primarily based on fear, what would I make more room for? Answering those questions is not easy. And I came up with a bunch of answers, some small, some big. But there was one that just kept coming up and coming up and coming up. And it was that I'm not making art. I'm not using my creativity. I'm not creating things. And the funny thing is, I've always said that I want to be an artist. Ever since I was a kid, like my dream job was I was going to be an artist by day and a spy by night. And I wasn't going to sleep, apparently. But that was my thing. And I always drew and painted, and I was the crafty kid and the one who had like all the colored pencils and all the things. And I even studied illustration. Like that is my major. And then I put my brushes away. Literally put them away. And I stopped drawing. And I became a designer instead. And caveat here, I love design. I did not do something that I don't like. Graphic design is something that I really enjoy. Brand design is something that ties two things that I adore, which are design, art, and psychology. I also know that it was the safer choice. And following your own path and creating any kind of business, especially a creative business, is never a totally safe choice, right? But design was a safer choice for me because I could justify the things I was doing. When I create a color palette for a business or for a client, I'm not creating that based on feels. I'm creating it based on research and science and psychology and a bunch of other things. And that happens with everything in design. There's a reason why you're doing things. And so while it wasn't the safe choice, because the safe choice would probably be to go get a corporate job, it was a safer choice than being an artist, than just wanting to be an illustrator or an artist. And I realized while going through these questions that what I wanted to do was just make something because I wanted to make something. I wanted to make something because that's what I wanted to paint or draw or create, and not because psychology says I should choose dark blue for whatever reason. And the thing is, this is an inkling I've had for a while now. This isn't something that started just in the past couple months, right? In fact, at the beginning of this year, this inkling was so strong that I started doing the artist way, and I failed incredibly. I even made a whole video about it, which I'll link in the description below. But I already knew I wanted to recover my creativity and get it back. But I don't think I realized how much it was missing from my life until I realized with everything that's happened in the past couple months that someday might never come. So this is me here telling you, I want to be an artist. I'm going to be an artist. I'm going to make art again. And against my better judgment, I am telling you this without any sort of plan. I don't know what that means yet for the current design side of my business. I don't know what that means yet for this YouTube channel. Like, am I taking you along on my journey or not? Would you be interested in that? I don't know. But that also made me realize something else. And it's that part of the reason I've not done this is because I can't plan from the ending and bring it back, right? Doing art is a little bit about just beginning. And I like having a plan. I like having the 100-step plan that, takes everything into account and all the plot twists and all the things that could happen and all the hurdles and the obstacles that could come your way. And I don't feel like I can really do that with art because you really have to live it to feel it. And it's not so easy to plan. But the whole point of this is to make you ponder as well. What are you waiting for? What are you postponing? What are you saying someday to that you just don't want to wait for anymore? Leave that in the comments if you're willing. I would love to read what your somedays are. And I hope that you commit to bringing some of that into your today and taking it out of that someday. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you like and subscribe. Share this with someone you think will enjoy this as well. And yeah, I make new videos like this every single Friday. So until then, stay wild, stay weird, and I'll see you in the next one.